Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, the 10th of Av, and we're preparing today to get ready for Shabbos Nachamu. Every year, this Shabbos, we read Parshas Vaetchanan. And in this week's Parsha, Moshe Rabbeinu, at the very end of his life, reflects back to his memories of what the experience of Har Sinai was all about, and what it was like to stand on top of the mountain and receive the Torah for the Jewish people. Moshe tells this generation that's about to enter the land of Israel that when he stood on top of the mountain, V'hinei hahar bo'er ba'esh ad lev hashamayim. He says, you won't imagine this, but the entire mountain of Har Sinai was consumed with fire that went up all the way to the heart of the heavens. Our sages teach us, and the Hasidic masters develop it even further, that the imagery that Moshe Rabbeinu is using here is a metaphor for the relationship between our bodies and our souls. Just as the wood is piled up on the ground, but the fire and the smoke ascend all the way to heaven, so too, human beings with the gift of Torah, we are rooted with our feet on the ground, but we are pursuing and reaching for our relationship with Hashem in heaven. Moshe went up to the heavens and he brought us the Torah, and the Torah is the vehicle by which we are able to reach even higher in pursuing a relationship with Hashem. And I was thinking as we prepare for Shabbos Nachamu about the significance of this relationship and the metaphor of what fire and smoke reaching for the sky is all about. When we talk about the 10th of Av, which we observe today, we recognize that the halachos of Tisha B'Av to a certain extent still apply, because the Talmud tells us that the Beis Hamikdash was already destroyed, but the fires of the temple were still burning that next day. On the one hand, it's a terrible image that's seared in the consciousness of Jewish people for the rest of history, that the Beis Hamikdash went up in flames. But the Beis Hamikdash wasn't just destroyed, it was consumed with fire. Yes, it's destructive, but it's also a metaphor for challenge and a metaphor for our connection to Hashem. What does it mean that the Beis Hamikdash went up in smoke? What it means is that without a temple, the Jewish people have to work that much harder to reach Hashem. We don't have that central location, that central authority, that central worship and service, but we still have to find a way to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What it means to find comfort on Shabbos Nachamu is to transform the metaphor of a burning Beis Hamikdash from a symbol of destruction to a fire that is a symbol of challenge. It's not the story of just Chorban, but it's also a memory of Chorev, a memory of our experience at Har Sinai. There has never been a year where we felt more distant than this one. We feel distant from each other, we feel distant from community, we feel distant from shul, and maybe we're feeling even a little bit distant from Hashem. The message of Shabbos Nachamu is to shift our focus and to re-engage with Judaism in a different way. We have to think differently about the fires of the Beis Hamikdash and the challenge that they set for us in trying to reach higher and reach farther, in building connections with others and building connections with community, and most importantly, reestablishing our relationship with Hashem. It's difficult to find comfort in the ashes of Tisha B'Av, but it is easy to find inspiration in the flames of Har Sinai. This Shabbos Nachamu, let's work that much harder to push ourselves to reconnect with the things in our lives that matter the most. And maybe we'll find out in trying our best that we can reach farther than we thought. Wish everyone a wonderful Shabbos, and we look forward to seeing you back at the RJC very soon.